Hello, and thank you for joining me today at the Taubman Museum of Art. Today we're taking a look at this particular work of art, which is a sculpture. Is there anything in particular that you notice about this sculpture? What is the artist depicting? What did the artist use to create this sculpture? You'll notice that it's actually hanging from the ceiling. And even casts a bit of an ominous shadow. And it's hanging using monofilament, or like a fishing line, so that you can't necessarily see. It instead looks like it's floating. Does this material look familiar to you? This work of art is called Ojo by artist Rafa Esparza. And this particular artist uses Nike shoes that he then cuts up and puts back together in these various forms. This is part of a series of birds. And as you can see the swoosh symbol, as well as Nike that is on the beak of our bird friend here. And ojo is the Spanish word for eye, although it can also mean colloquially, or sometimes when it's used in phrases as pay attention or be careful. This particular sculpture reminds me of a crow. And oftentimes you'll see crows up on the power lines, and they're often going caw, caw, almost like they're warning you to watch out, watch out. In a way, this is a recycled work of art, in that the artist is using something that was once had another purpose to create something else. In this case, a shoe. Perhaps now you might look at some of your old tennis shoes and consider what work of art you could create from them. Why would you think that the artist would use shoes like these to create birds? Especially as shoes often travel the ground and birds travel the sky. Think about what you could create from some things like your clothing, your shoes. Would you think to create a hanging sculpture such as this? Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time. everybody, and welcome to the Taubman Museum of Art. We are going to be creating our own upcycled bird collages today, and we're going to be using a variety of materials. You can use a paper plate or just a sheet of paper, whatever you happen to have. Some old magazines or newspaper. I have some cut up tissue paper that I'm going to be using. You'll need a pencil or marker or pen, some scissors, and then some glue. So what I'm going to do here with my paper plate is I'm actually going to use this as the base for my collage. And I've chosen to do a paper plate because it's actually quite nice, and I can bend it to form it into different shapes as well. But I'm going to just really simply create, I'm going to draw the outline of a bird. Okay, so there we have a nice rough outline of a bird. And then I'm going to cut it out. Okay, and now I'm going to start collaging on top of my bird. So I'm going to cut out some different things, and actually you could even just rip it out as well. You can even look for kinds of colors. So I'm actually really liking sort of some pinks that I have here. And so actually when you rip the sheets of paper, it actually creates this really nice texture to the edge of the paper, which really gives you kind of that feather effect, which is very nice as well. It gives you a nice texture to work with. And so I'm just going to apply some glue onto my bird and then start sticking down my paper. You can arrange this any way you want. Your paper can even overlap over the edges a little bit to create more kinds of feathers. And adding a little bit more glue where you need to. And think about, what kind of bird you're making. Does your bird fly south for the winter, or does it go to tropical places? Can your bird fly, or is your bird more like an ostrich or a penguin and be more towards the ground? Your bird can have different color schemes. For instance, I'm making the upper part of my bird this lovely pinkish color that I've taken out of a magazine. And then for the head here, I'm actually going to use this tissue paper. All right. I'm loving how this is looking already. Oh, I think I really like this blue. I'm going to rip this out as well. I think I'm going to make down near the tail some blue. All right. Now, you can let this dry a little bit, and then you can go back in and you can add in some details as you like. If you want. And then you can even punch a little hole and add some string and hang your bird if you'd like, hang it in the window, so you can also decorate both sides. It's up to you as the artist. We hope that you'll have fun creating this upcycled collage bird. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
Hello, it is I, Toby the Great Art Detective, and I'm so proud of you for finishing your session today. Thank you so much for joining me. It has been so much fun. Listen, I think it is time that we say our Great Art Detective motto. When you are ready, we say it together. Okay, here we go. We investigate those who create and salute those who inspire, because we know that making art is good for the heart and questioning makes us smarter. I pledge to look, listen, and learn. And if we follow all the clues, we can learn to make great art too. Hey, that's wonderful. We did it. That's fantastic. Okay, friends? Hey, listen, you have a very good day, and I'll see you next time.